And we're on. And we're on.
Welcome to the Quit Your 9 to 5 community. I am Damian Duncan.
This is strange for me. Why I look like I was supposed to be over there. I don't know what's happening. I can't get my life together.
All right, let's go.
Hi, guys. So first of all, we're super excited. We have over 100 people signed up for this challenge. So I expect you people to be in this group, posting your feedback, answering the questions. We're going to give you some really good nuggets on how to go about quitting your job and really establishing your business, because that's what it's all about. I know a lot of people are afraid to step into that space to quit their job when their business is still kind of is rocky and you're not really sustaining the consistent money that you need to bring in. So that's our job, to help you bring in that consistent money. Once you have that, then you will feel way more confident to go ahead and quit your job. So that's the whole point of this challenge.
Absolutely.
So what you need to know, for starters, is the only way you're going to get, I'm sorry, I have to fix my life. The only way you are going to get the most value from the challenge is if you show up. You have to show up. Do not just think, oh, I'm going to look at the emails when they come. Oh, I'm going to do, what do I want to say? What's the word I want to do? Binge watch all the videos. Like, that doesn't work. Yeah. We are here to answer your questions, to help you through it. So be present. Just show up. That's why we said after we post the thread, we'll leave it up for some of you guys to catch it. But then we're going to remove it because we really want you to elevate yourself and show up to the challenge. So this is our office hours for Q&A. This is your opportunity to ask any questions that you have. We have some questions that were already posted in the group, so we're going to address those first. And then if anybody is watching and they have some questions, or if you have questions and you're watching now, you can already pop those into the chat so that we can just literally run them through and answer your questions.
And we just want you to understand that this is not just a monologue. Tamisha and I just don't want to talk to you. We want to hear back from you. This is a dialogue situation, not a monologue. Mm-hmm. So we encourage you to ask questions. You know, you need the clarity and you need all of the specifics and the tools necessary to create freedom for yourself so you can leave your quit your 9 to 5 and live in your purpose.
Yay.
Hey.
Sorry. So who's here? I see some of you guys throwing up the love, throwing up the likes, throwing up the hearts. I want to know who's with us. So please type your name in the comments. Okay, so while you guys are doing that, we're going to start to answer the first question, which is from Tish. Tish, weren't you at the Be Unstoppable experience? Some of these questions were answered at the Be Unstoppable experience. Hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula, in Oklahoma.
Hey, Tish. Okay, great. I'm so glad you're here because these are the questions that we want to answer. Now, what happened to you? Because I know you were there. You can tell us in the chat. Let's start with Tish's first question. So we have Tish Hammonds from ATL.
So Tish asks, how do I take what I have and monetize it to the level that it's working for me and helping me to achieve full-time entrepreneurship?
Okay, can you read that again? I'm sorry.
How do I take what I have and monetize it to the level that is working for me and helping me to achieve full-time entrepreneurship? Okay,
so you want me to tackle that, or you want to?
Well, we can both tackle it. First and foremost, for this question that it applies to in this community as well, what I want you to understand is you have a plan B and you have a plan A. A plan A, plan B. What's happening is your current job is your plan B. And the problem is you are prioritizing your time. Yes, I said that. On your plan B.
Let that
go. On your plan B. So you're putting all of your time in your plan B because for some reason there might be self-limiting doubt. Some people may be in your head that your plan A is not going to work. So you're staying and you're putting all of your time in your plan B. So what I want you to start focusing on, and this is why, we've created this challenge, to lead you into our program, which is the escape plan, which is the
get it together,
is to resign with your dream in mind.
Okay.
And the issue is you are focusing too much on your job. you're probably burnt out from your job, and you're not putting enough time into your plan A, which is your purpose. You just can't put it together to make it to the point where you have enough confidence to leave your 9 to 5. To be honest with you too, I just wanted to say this too. You have to, your plan A has to.
Wow, you're the second person to tell me that.
Wow, and so listen to success leaves clues, Tish. So what I want you to understand is you have to be able to make your plan A non-negotiable. What that means is you have to stop serving two masters, and that's what we have created this platform for you to help you leave that job, that plan A, and start focusing on your true purpose. Because the problem is there are people who need to hear your testimonial. There are people that need to hear your message. And as long as you stick to that plan B, those people that need you, that need to hear your story, that need your product or service or whatever that is, you're leaving them starving. So I just want you to just bear that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. And I would just add to that, when you asked, how do you take what you have? Where are you going with the question? Right. How do you take what you have and monetize it to the level that's working for you? So I don't know exactly everything that you have. I believe you're doing some life coaching or something to that nature. So in order for me to tell you how to actually monetize and strategize what you're doing, that would have to be, you would have to schedule the strategy session with us so we can really dig into your business to find out what it is you're doing and then how you can monetize that. But to his point, you definitely have to make the job your plan. It shouldn't even be your plan B at all. It's what you're doing right now, but your plan A is your full-time entrepreneurship. So you need to monetize what you're doing. You already have the genius. You just got to step into that space and own it. You have to step into that space and own it. As long as you got that fallback plan, you're always going to fall back to that. And you won't be able to ever elevate yourself and step up into that space where you're doing what you're doing because you've already got the genius. I understand that you were also on the platform, you're speaking. So you're working, you're doing things. You just got to really bring it around and make it happen for you. What I will tell you, though, is throughout this challenge, we're going to be sharing tons of things for you to actually monetize your business, which is what it's really about. So make sure you show up for the challenge every day because every day we're going to be sharing something with you that you can use to monetize your business. Okay?
Absolutely. And if you notice the tips and the advice that we're giving you right now is something that you could apply to the world now. This is why we're telling you to be present on these calls. Don't binge watch. I mean, sometimes your schedule might not allow that, but we want you to be, like you said, Tish, be all in.
Yes, I'm all in. Yes.
You can't be all in when you're straddling the fence with plan B and plan A. Let's face it. Let me ask you, Tish, what are you putting most of your time in, your plan A or your plan B?
She'll answer that.
Yeah, so you have to, there's a level of non-negotiability that you have to create for yourself and give yourself permission to leave your plan B and make your plan A your priority because this is what you love to do. You've gotten a taste of success. You know what it feels like. You know that people are seeking after you. So every time you go back to your plan B, you're leaving these people starving. And then what happens is, you know what the impact of that is? Now you have to recreate that momentum. Do you know how difficult that is? Me and Tamisha, we've been there. It's very hard to so now you go from having that momentum to now going into the convincing business, right, which is not a good place to be mentally.
So she says, honestly, I've been working plan A in the plan B. So
okay.
First of all, just acknowledging that is amazing because that automatically elevates you into a new space where you're conscious of what you were doing so that you can fix it. Okay. So kudos to you, Tish. Also, the question, I feel like I'm getting noticed, but I want to attract more of my ideal clients. So I'm going to tell you, like I tell all of our clients that come to us wanting to attract their ideal clients, do you really know who your ideal clients are? So, excuse me, part of knowing and how to succinctly attract them is getting as detailed as possible as to who they are. And I'm not talking about just on the surface. In fact, we talk a lot about this in tomorrow's challenge, so I don't want to give too much away. But the thing is, if you want to attract more of them, you really got to figure out who they are, and not just the surface things that people talk about, like their nationality or, you know, are they male or they female or what age they are, but really think about what it is that motivates them to buy, and how can you connect your brand or your business to that motivation that they need. What are the problems that they need solved, and how do you make your business that answer? So if you have that strong, then your ideal clients will come. And you also need to know where they are.
Right. And once you establish that ideal client, you know, whoever they are, you know, that will allow you to then now do your due diligence on the back end to find out what it is that's keeping them at night. And then once you regurgitate that back to them, now you can meet them where they're at.
Paula says momentum is everything.
Absolutely.
Yes, you got to keep that momentum going, because once you let that fizzle and die off, it's so hard to get it back up and get back on track and keep moving. But if you got it, you got to keep it going. Okay, I have that, but need to dig a little bit deeper.
Absolutely.
So that's all it is. So don't worry. Tomorrow we got you on that. Exactly. Tomorrow's challenge is all about digging into the ideal client. I think it's tomorrow. One of these days this week is about an ideal client. And
to hold you accountable, we want to know who that ideal client is once you come up with that. That's part of, you know, being in this community and being in this challenge, because not only are we the experts, but all of you in the community are the experts too. So, you know, feel free to chime in and also add your expertise too, because you're all experts as we are, but we're just helping you learn how to package that.
So, while we have one more question, and then if you guys have any questions while you're watching, please make sure to pop them in the chat box so that we can see them and answer them. The last question, you need an actionable plan. Wait, I can't read. I don't know what's wrong with me. You want to read it?
I need actionable steps to take in the next 30, 60 to 90 days. What advice would you give on where to start?
Here, that's my advice. Mm-hmm. You starting right where you are at. The fact that you joined the challenge, the fact that you're present here is the start, the start that you need. What I can tell you from our experiences is we've been where you are, which is why we're doing this, because so many people are struggling in this space. We struggled in this space for so long and could not find our way out. And once we found our way out, we were committed to pulling people with us to help them find their way out. So where you are starting is perfectly where you are. We have something that we'll be sharing with you guys towards the end of the challenge that's really going to set you guys in motion to escape from the 9 to 5, to resign with your dream in mind. So just keep with us, stick it out, and don't stop. Okay,
Tish, you are in the right place. That's for sure. Adrian, you said you're working on your plan A and plan B. The income from my business is not enough to walk just yet. Okay, I'm glad that you brought that up, Adrian. One thing that we stress is you have to use your plan B as an angel investor to make your plan B happen.
Yes.
So what that looks like is you want to put yourself in a position where you have to, you know, there's going to have to come some kind of sacrifice. You know, there might be something where you have to start monitoring and budgeting and seeing where your money is going, your extra disposable income is going. And where that is going, you're going to have to make a sacrifice there in order to use that as angel investment money, So, I hope that helps.
Is it Marquita? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's why I'm doing. Yes. So it's okay. Listen, we're never going to tell you guys, listen, quit your job today. Like that would be stupid. It wouldn't make any sense.
That's what I did. I quit my job February 28th, 2008 with not a single plan. I just knew that I was going to be this successful person, and I had a lot of pitfalls, and I left Tamisha out to dry for a couple of years, and it was a very painful situation. That's why when Tamisha made her jump from being an employee to an entrepreneur, making her dream happen, we created a strategic plan, and that's the plan that we're sharing with you. We're not sharing my plan because it's not a good look. I mean, if I had to do it again, as crazy I am, I probably would have, but
it helped to it helped us to learn what not to do and to guide us in the right direction.
Okay,
so we did what we had to do.
So
at that
Tish
time.
says she downsized her home and moved with a girlfriend to cut
Awesome.
living expenses to invest more in your business.
I love it.
That is so crucial because so many of us, you know, we're worrying about what everybody else has to say about us. Oh, they lost their house, or, you know, they driving a lesser type of car, or whatever the case may be. Don't get caught up in what everybody else is saying, because everybody's opinion is none of your business.
And the other thing is, you know, we hear so much, and you guys might hear it too. You know, I want this so bad. I want this so bad. But then you're not willing to take the sacrifices to make it happen. Mm-hmm. We're not saying that you got to eat ramen noodles every day, but if that's what you got to do, if this is what you really want, the payoff is, the reward is so much bigger in the end. But people don't want to feel uncomfortable, or they don't want to lose this. They got to look a certain way. They got to keep up with the Joneses, and they're not willing to sacrifice. Then you don't want it that bad. So the fact that you're already taking those steps, putting yourself in motion, you've downsized your home, you've cut living expenses. Listen, after we decided to make this transition, we like nice things, but we realized that we couldn't do everything that we wanted to do. Right. That we had to get rid of some of the things that we really didn't need, and it actually served our lives so much more, because now we're so much more in tune with each other, with our children, with our purpose, with our passion, instead of being caught up by all of these other things.
For example, what we did, we had an 8-bedroom mini mansion, swimming pool, movie theater. We were driving.
I miss that house so bad. I really do.
We were driving luxury cars.
No, I really do.
Everybody thought we were on top of the world. And we literally woke up one morning and said, we have to downsize. We downsized to a 3-story, 3-bedroom townhome.
Yeah, and a lot of people were looking at us like,
by the way,
they slipped and they lost their house.
In the midst of that, we got two repos, 2 car repossessions. Okay, like maybe month.
Well, they were voluntary.
Well, yeah, they were voluntary. We gave them back. We gave them back.
Yes.
But a repo is a repo.
It was a hard decision. A repo is a repo at the end of the day, but it was a hard decision. But it was a decision that needed to be made.
So we had to downgrade and get 1 car, and we had to make it work.
And now we're driving better cars than we were driving before.
We're back to where we...
Now we're living in a home that is for our family. So it comes back around. Yeah, it was very rough at that time. But we knew the sacrifices that we were going to make were going to pay off in the end.
And here's the harsh reality. When you become an entrepreneur, they're going to be probably more challenging days than you're probably going through now. So this is why we've created this platform for you to eliminate or mitigate some of those mistakes, and to also know that this is part of the process.
And that's why the first part of the challenge is why we asked you that question. Like, why are you doing this? What is it? What is the basis for you wanting to be an entrepreneur in the first place? Because I will tell you, just like Damien said, it's like you don't realize the cushion that a job actually gives you. Because I used to complain about my job. Every day it was making me sick. I didn't want to be there. And then I finally quit, and I thought it was party time because I felt like I had this newfound freedom, right? But the reality is, when I had a job, I was more disciplined because I knew that if I didn't do my work, I wasn't getting my check. And that check came to me every 15th and 30th. I knew somebody was giving me the directive on what to do. I executed it. That was it. Nobody's going to give you the plan when you are an entrepreneur. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. You might not get that consistent money on the 15th and 30th or whatever your pay periods are. So you got to be built up here to be able to deal with that.
Absolutely.
Our why is what motivates us to get up every single day. There are days when I don't want nothing to do with being an entrepreneur because I don't want the responsibility. That's just the honest truth. But I know my why. I know why I'm doing this. I know what it's going to bring for my family, how I'm building my legacy. And that's what keeps us going. So we want you to get grounded in your why first, because if you're grounded in that, then that's going to propel you to do everything that you need to do to quit your 9-to-5 and be a successful full-time entrepreneur.
And Paula says, I love the idea of downsizing because I know it's worth it. It really is. I mean, it's painful when you got to give up the luxury items.
You know what, though? I don't miss them bills. I don't miss spending the extra money on extra things. Like, I like being able to feel like a sense of freedom. Even though it was hard to break away from some of those things, it also felt like a weight was lifted off of our shoulders. Because it was like, I don't have to worry about that.
And downsizing, is people look at it as a bad thing. It's something that's necessary in order to help you build upon what what you want to do in the world, So you've taken that. So Paula said, I've taken this journey before on a smaller scale. Listen, you have a gift. You have purpose. You have a calling that the universe and God wants you to, that is using you as this vessel to help people that desperately need you.
Yeah.
So the longer you stay into this 9 to 5 debacle of, I don't know, despair, anger, whatever the case may be, you're allowing these people that need you they're starving. They're starving, and it's a very scary place, especially when you're associated around people who are putting their self-limiting doubts on you to tell you, hey, you better keep that job. Nothing is guaranteed. And, you just got to be really careful of who you're surrounding yourself with. And again, this is why we've created this community, so you could be around like-minded people who could understand what you're going through.
Absolutely.
So you're not alone.
Support.
This community was built so you won't be alone.
The support and the accountability, because I will tell y'all, when especially like your family, your friends, they are probably, you go to them for the support, but they're probably going to give you the least amount of support when it comes to this, because they're not entrepreneurs. So of course they're operating out of a sense of fear. Sometimes they'll try to talk you out of being in this space because they don't know what that feels like. Mm-hmm. So they feel like they're protecting you. Mm-hmm. And so that could be straining on you because you're trying to make a decision. And now that you have some doubt implanted in your mind, it's hard for you to choose the direction that you go, especially when you're getting feedback from people that you love and trust the most.
And we're not saying for you to cut these people off, but you have to limit your association when you're talking about this dream that you want to make happen. Because what happens is, again, I stress this. This is why we have created this community, so you can take your cape off, you can let your hair down, so to speak, and you can have these conversations here. This is a no judgment platform. We're not about gossiping and playing games. We're about actually giving you the tool belt to resign with your dream in mind to make it happen.
Awesome. Paula says she set her date. What's your date, Paula?
Yeah, we want to see a date. That's huge.
Post it in the comments. What's your date? And you guys should all be setting your date. Set your date. That's the first thing that you can put in motion. When I set my date to leave, I set my date, I wrote it on a Post-it note, and I put it right in front of my computer. So every day I sat down at work, I looked at that date every single day. And I wrote it in a way where it didn't look like a date. It was just the numbers. So nobody really knew what it was. I knew what it was. And that kept me motivated. Every time I would get annoyed or pissed off, or if somebody said something I didn't like, or I was just having a bad day, I looked at that Post-it and it kept me grounded. Like, all right, you got this. So set your date, guys. And don't set a date like 3 and 4 and 5 years from now. Let's do it with intention. Set a date that you can make between now and 2018. If you can, do that.
And Paula's date is February 18th. So
nice.
February 18th, 2018. Okay.
5/18.
Wow. We got
my date. Awesome. Wow. If I'm honest, that's scary. Okay. Wow. If I'm honest, that's scary. But I've had to set a date for a major goal before. You need Brittany? Okay. Bye. You leaving? Okay. So listen. Sorry. All right, so.
Well, okay, she said, Marquita said, wow, if I'm honest.
It is scary, but that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to shake you up.
Listen.
It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable because you've been too comfortable thus far. And you're not going to do it being in a comfortable state.
Yes, being scared is fine. That's currently where you are, and this is why we have created this platform as well to help build upon that confidence. Being scared is fine because, you've been doing your job for X amount of years. So this is what you know. So, entrepreneurship is something that wasn't taught or even exposed to a lot of us when we were growing up. So, it's okay to be scared. And like I said, we have created this platform to help you build on that confidence. So when you resign with your dream in mind, you're doing it fully powerful, fully self-expressed, and you're not looking back.
Awesome.
You're not looking back. at
Your
all.
husband set his date. Regina says, my husband set his date months ago. He's free. Good for him. October 1st. Awesome. That's amazing. It's liberating. It is liberating. Just to set the date is liberating. Let me tell you something. You have no idea that weight that's lifted off your chest just by setting the date.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do you one even better. I set the date and I wrote the resignation letter. I didn't do anything with it until I was ready to pull it out. Of course, I didn't show it to nobody. But I did that because that already set my mind in the right place to say, okay, this is really happening. This is not a game. This is not something that I was dreaming about. This is not something that I'm just like, oh, one day, oh, I wish. I made it real. You have to make this so real to you if you really want to see it happen. Otherwise, it'll never happen, ever. So make it as real as you possibly can. Set the date, write the letter, get it in action.
And yeah, I mean, you see, the thing is, a lot of us, when we wake up in the morning, we wake up with no intention. We just live. I mean, we just go throughout our lives. We're not even present in the moment. So, you know, again, when you set that date, you're setting intention to put yourself in a position now to have the confidence, the power, to feel empowered, to be fully self-expressed, to leave this job,
yes,
to now go serve the people that you need, that need you. And again, I always say this, you have been chosen as a vessel, whatever that passion, whatever that God-given calling that he's calling upon you to do. People are starving. They need you.
Mm-hmm.
They need you. And again, it's you know, these are things that haven't been taught to us. So it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. And for all of you perfectionists out there, you need to let that go. There's no such thing as perfection. Oh, I need to get a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
I need to get that out of your head. You know, we're going to help you set realistic goals that's going to lead you into prosperity, doing what you love to do. Period.
Absolutely. Write the vision and make it plain. Yes, Regina, that's right. You got to put it in the forefront. You can't leave it all up here.
And one of the things, too, that we're doing is, like, you know, you have your resignation letter. We want you to, you know, for accountability purposes, we want to see it. You know, we want to give everybody confidence who is afraid to do that. I mean, that's a breakthrough in itself, to even write that letter, to even set that date. So don't minimize these small, that seem to be small accomplishments, because this is the foundation. You writing that letter, you're setting a date. That's the foundation behind all of this. So acknowledge yourself for even taking that step.
And I will tell y'all this, when I was doing all of this, I knew that at one point I was going to be able to tell my story. And that's what kind of pushed me through it, because it was scary as all get out when everything was happening. I was like, oh my God, I'm, you know, this is the date I said. And when I said it, I was like, I still did it not with confidence. It wasn't like I was like, yeah, September 15th. What? I was like, am I really doing this? And even writing the letter made me feel really good. I wrote the letter. I wrote the letter at my job, and I saved it on my desk computer, but I coded it something else so nobody would know that it was my letter.
We don't want.
But I wrote my letter. Yeah, don't do that. But I wrote my letter, and I even told not just my husband or I didn't tell my family, because I knew my family was not going to be in support of that. But I did share it with my husband.
I was ecstatic about it.
But I even went a step further and told someone that I trusted at my job, because I said, okay, I'm putting this out in the universe because I want someone else to hold me accountable. So I was very cautious about that, but I made sure that I kept people in the loop, because any way that I could continue to make myself accountable to what I'm doing, I had to do that, because I've backed out of it so many times that this was the only way that I could make sure that I was going to do it when I needed to do it.
And Paula from Oklahoma says she has no problem with creating her resignation letter, and she will send her letter as soon as she finishes.
I know Paula's from Oklahoma.
Because she said that earlier. I'm paying attention, girl.
Man. Oh,
come on now.
He schooled me, honey child.
Okay. So I mean, we're opening up. We're looking for more questions. We don't want to, bombard you with all of our talk. Ask them some more questions. What's going on? What's stopping you? Let's, tell us some more. What's going on? Kenya, I'm at work getting ready to start writing my letter. Awesome,
Kenya. I love it.
Yeah, we love it, man. Again, this is what this community is about. This is why we created it.
Yes.
When I quit, there was no such thing as a quit your 9-to-5 community. When Tamisha quit, there was no outlet. We were our only outlet, and I was actually waiting on her, and it made me so happy because I refer to it. The day that she quit her job was the day that we became financially evenly yoked. When she quit her job, and I was so, and then to a certain degree, it may have been scary because now we were both on the same island trying to figure out how we're going to keep the lights on, how we're going to keep food on the table for our why, which is us and our kids. And, we've had ups and downs, but listen, if I would have stayed in corporate America, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you this day because it was just too much for me. I got tired of people telling me what to do. Mm-hmm. I got tired of wanting to get up to go somewhere where I didn't want to be. I got tired of going and sitting up in this Atlanta traffic. If you've ever experienced this Atlanta traffic, you don't even want to go to work. That's work in itself. Okay. So, and then, you're around individuals who have self-limiting, and it's not to, talk bad about them, but they have self-limiting doubts. It's just debilitating on your psyche because there's no one you can talk to. Everybody's comfortable, and it's just not a good feeling. You have a gift. You have a purpose, but there's something in front of you that's stopping you, and it's that plan B, which is your job. Mm-hmm. So we're going to help you how to use this job as an angel investor. We're going to help you build the confidence. We're providing a community for you. The whole point of this, the whole intention of the Quit Your 9-to-5 community is for you to taste and smell and see what freedom really looks like. Because right now you're not free.
Yeah, and I know all you guys, yes, I used to live there. I can't read. So I've always known I've been supposed to be an entrepreneur. God has clarified everything this year. And he'll keep redirecting you. Mm-hmm. He'll keep redirecting you. Every time you try to get off that path because you like, this is too scary, I'm going to go this way, he will redirect you right back to where you're supposed to be.
And Regina says, my why is for generational wealth, a legacy for our children.
And Marquita, your fear is tied to being a single parent. I totally get that. So even, I know this is going to sound crazy, but even with me quitting my job and us both being entrepreneurs, it made us collectively feel like a single parent. Because, when you got that cushion, right? Yeah, we're married, but in a lot of circumstances, the husband is at work, so the wife can, play around on the internet all day or try her hand with entrepreneurship. And if it doesn't work, the husband got that 9-to-5, that solid check that they know is going to make it happen. For us, we didn't have that. We jumped into this thing together like, okay, you quit, let's do this. So we were each other's, rock in a sense, and we have 2 children at home. So it made it that much more plain to us that we had to make this work. We could not sink. We had to figure out a way to swim because we had a responsibility. So don't let the fear of being a single parent stop you, even though we're not quote unquote single. We're still doing this together. We don't have any, one thing to hold on to. If our business fails, if we don't make money this month, that's a reflection that it affects the whole scope of our family.
And also,
but you can do this.
Yes, you can do it. And within this community, you're going to get that self-development or personal development training that we're going to eradicate that fear. I'm not even worrying about that. The word fear, the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. Mm-hmm. You have created a story behind being a single mom that has victimized you to make you feel that you can't do it alone. And also what it has done is you're basing your fear on things that haven't happened yet. Did you notice that? We all do that. We all worry about the future that hasn't even happened yet.
Yep.
Be present. Don't make yourself wrong for being, and I'm not saying that you are, don't make yourself wrong for being a single parent. The bottom line is you got a purpose. You got a calling to fulfill. And you know, God and the universe chose you as a vessel to do it as a single woman right now. So don't let that hinder you from being that great, extraordinary person that you know you've been called to be.
And that's the reason why we're doing this challenge with you. That's the reason why we've created these platforms for you, so that you can set up the right plan. So you don't have to jump into it cold turkey. I know there are days when you want to be like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. But the reality is, we got bills, we got responsibilities, we got children, we got families. So I would not advise you to do anything cold turkey without a plan, but most people don't know how to set up that plan. So that's why we are helping you to set up the plan based on some of the wins that we've had and some of the losses that we've had. Some of the things that we've done that we know, like, no, don't do that again, because this is what's going to happen.
Don't do what I did, that's for sure.
So I get the fear, it's okay, but my famous motto is feel that fear and do it anyway. Now you got to do that on the time that's right for you and your family. As a single parent, you do have a responsibility to your child or children, but you can do this, and if you put your strategic plan in order, it will work for you. And
I'll tell you this also, Marquita, in regards to, you know, you're saying that you have a fear of, you know, tied to you being a single mom. But I think what it is as well is you are afraid to fail. Here's the thing. What I want you to understand is the word failure is a beautiful thing. Let me explain why. Do you realize every time, like, you know what your purpose is, but you just don't believe that you can monetize it. That's why you are staying in your job. But what happens is, don't you realize that every time you try to do something else other than your calling, you keep hitting that failure button? So instead of making yourself wrong when things don't go right, look at it this way. Again, you have been called as a vessel to carry out a certain purpose. Every time you fail, that means that the universe and God is redirecting you back to your purpose. The issue is we make failure to be a bad thing. Failure is a teacher. Failure is just telling you, listen, I know you're trying to do this multi-level marketing, not to, no offense to that, or you're trying to get a second job, but listen, you're not supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be carrying out what your calling is. So just look at failure is the universe just redirecting you back to your purpose. See, you got to stop ignoring the signs. You know, God, you know, you've been, think about all of the things that you've endured is because the universe and God knows that you can handle it. You just haven't discovered that yet. And that's what we're going to help you do in this community.
So if no one else has any questions, I really hope that was valuable. If this live chat and this Q&A was valuable for you, please type in the box yes, so that we know we're adding value. We don't want to be up here just, you know, sharing and talking if it's not adding value. We want to make sure that every moment that y'all spend with us, whether it's in live chat, email, whatever, you are getting what you need to take yourself to the next level, to put yourself in action, and as we talked about earlier, to keep up that momentum. So that's important for us to make sure that that's communicated to you guys.
And Paula, we're so happy that you're ready for this. We're happy that the email came in your email box at the perfect time. We're excited for you. We just ask you to be coachable, ask questions, and allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Yes. This was good. Yes, I love it. All right, guys. So I think some of you probably are already at work. You're probably getting ready to leave. So we're going to close out. We will see you guys back here tomorrow, same time. So put your questions in the chat box for tomorrow. You'll get the videos for tomorrow, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.